Hey guys, it's Mrs. Moylan. Welcome back from break. I hope you had a great, relaxing time with your family. First things first, we're going to go over the Unit 4 test that you took right before Christmas break. So set up your journal page, title it Unit 4 Assessment, and then get your 3 columns, my answer, correct answer, and my mistake. And then number it 1 through 15. Starting with number 1. What table best represents the diagram below? So when we look at figure 1, it has a total number of 1 dot. So figure 1 has 1 dot, like in choice A. Choice B says figure 0 has 1 dot, which is not true. And then choice C says figure 1 has 1 dot. Then we look at figure 2. Figure 2 has 3 dots. Choice A says figure 2 has 5 dots, so that makes that incorrect. And choice C says figure 2 has 3 dots. Checking the next one, figure 3 does in fact have 5 dots. And figure 4, if it was there, would have 7 dots. So C is the correct answer for number 1. Number 2, what is the difference between an expression and an equation? A says an expression is made up of numbers and an equation is made up of variables. That is not true because they can both be made up of numbers and variables. Choice B says both are made up of numbers and variables, but an equation has an equal sign. So that we know is true, but we're going to check the rest. Letter C says both are made up of numbers and variables, but equations have addition and subtraction. Well, that's not true because an expression can have addition and subtraction also. And letter D says there is no difference, they are both the same. That is not correct. An expression does not have an equal sign, and an equation does. So letter B is the correct answer for number 2. Number 3, what is the expression modeled below? So the large pieces are representing X. Those are our unknowns. So we have 2 X's. So if we look at our choices, it's not going to be A and it's not going to be D. It's either B or C. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives, and we have 1 positive. So that makes 3 negatives altogether. So the correct answer choice is letter C, because 4 of them are negative and 1 of them are positive, so that's not 5 numbers, that is 3 negatives altogether. So number 3 is C. Number 4, what equation represents a set of tiles below? Again, we have 2 X's, so it could be A, it's not going to be B, it could be C, and it's not going to be D. Plus we have 2 numbers, 2 constants, so 2x plus 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So letter A is the correct answer. Number 5, solve for x. So you would want to write your equation out so that you had room to work on it, and then we want to move variables to one side and constants to the other. I'm going to start by moving the 4, so plus 4x to both sides with the variable gives us 2x plus 1 equals 9. Next, I'm going to move the 1. So minus 1 gives us 2x equals 8. And then the last step is divide. Divide by 2. So x equals 4. So the correct answer is x equals 4. Of course, on your test, you should have checked with substitution, and you would find that 4 is the correct answer for number 5. Number 6, same thing. Write out your equation so you have room to work. Move variables to one side and constants to the other. This time, let's start with the constant. So I'll move 1. So minus 1 gives us 4x equals 5x minus 3. Then we can move the variable, minus 5x gives us negative 1x equals negative 3. And if you did that like that, then make sure you divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. So x equals positive 3. So B was the correct answer for that one. Again, of course, you wanted to use substitution to double check your work. Number 7, customers have 2 options when renting video games from a rental store. Plan A, so we've got plan A, requires a $5 monthly fee and $1 per video. So that's Plan A. Plan B requires an $8 monthly fee and 75 cents per video. So once you write it out like that, you just have to check your equations to figure out which one it is, and that would be letter C. Number 8, this was a tricky one. You always could use your answer choices to check for substitution, or if you wanted to solve it, you'd have to start with distributive property. So you would distribute the 2 out to both things that are inside the parentheses. So we'd have x minus 2x minus 20 equals 12. Then you have to combine your like terms. So you have 1x here and 2 negative x's, which leaves you with 1 negative x minus 20 equals 12. Then you'd have to move your 20, so plus 20 gives you negative x equals 32. Then you'd have to divide by negative 1. So x gives you negative 32. So D was the correct answer for number 8. And again, if you just plugged in negative 32 in both places for the x's, you would have come out with the same answer. So there's always substitution when you've got a multiple choice question. Number 9. The equation 3y plus 4 equals negative y minus 6 is modeled below. Which value of y makes this equation true? So you could also use substitution on a question like this to see which one would make it true, or you could solve by moving variables to one side and constants to the other. So let's start by moving the 6. Plus 6 gives you 3y plus 10 equals negative y. And then you'd have to move the 3y minus 3y minus 3y gives you 10 equals negative 4y. And then your final step would be divide by negative 4. 10 divided by negative 4 is going to be 5 over negative 2. So D was the correct answer for number 9. Number 10, Mrs. Garcia wants to get her lawn landscaped. The fees charged by 2 landscaping companies are shown in the table. What equation below shows when each company's charge will be the same? So when it says same, that means equal. So if we set them equal to each other, Company A charges a $10 service fee plus $20 per hour. Company B charges a $25 service fee plus $15 per hour. So 15 and 20 are the ones that are going to have the variable, which means that the correct answer is going to be C. Number 11. Sean solves the following equation as shown. Sean's solution is marked incorrect, which best explains Sean's error. So a couple ways you could do this. You could kind of look through his steps and see where he messed up. You could try to solve the problem off to your side and see what you did differently. But right here is where he messed up. He added 3/5 x on the right, but then he subtracted 3/5 x on the left. And you have to do the same thing to one side as you do to the other. So that means that D was the error that he made in his solution. Number 12, the sum of 4 times a number. So 4 times a number looks like that. 4, well, that's ugly. 4 times a number and 3 is 55. So there's your equation. You could also use substitution and say, okay, 4 times 13 plus 3, does that equal 55? If yes, then that's correct. If not, then you check the other choices. Or you could solve it algebraically. So we'd have to move the 3 minus 3 gives you 4x equals 52. And then divide by 4, x equals 13. So A was the correct answer for number 12. Number 13, For the equation below, name the variable, coefficient, and constant. The variable is the letter P. It's the letter. It's the thing that is changing that we don't know. The coefficient is 3. It's what we are multiplying the variable by. The constants are both -4 and 31. They're both constants. And then for the bonuses, rational numbers include everything except non-repeating, never-ending decimals. Those are not rational. Those are irrational. So that is the correct answer for that first bonus was letter A. The next one, how is 0.000072 written in scientific notation? We know that it's going to be a negative exponent, so it can't be C or D because a really tiny number is a negative exponent. We would have to move the decimal over in between 7 and 2, and it would move a total of 5 spaces. So it would be 5 spaces to the left. So B would be the correct answer for that bonus. And then the last one, slope is the steepness of a line. We've talked about roller coasters, and the steeper it is, the bigger the slope is. Make sure that you are checking your work and understanding your mistakes and finishing your error analysis.